Welcome to the Nerd Party.
It's not working.
Well, how long since you've cleaned the heads?
The what?
The heads. Do you have any alcohol?
To drink?
What? No, to clean it. Check the tracking.
The rental place closes in 2 hours.
Shut up, it's working.
Time for a retro perspective.
Hello and welcome to Retro Perspective, the show on the Nerd Party where we take a look at all of the movies released 25 years ago this week. I'm Mike.
I am John.
And this week we're going to be taking a look at the movies released on March 11th, 1994.
Yes, March 11th, 1994. What a heady time and interesting time to release a Christmas-themed movie.
Or two Christmas-themed movies, perhaps.
Oh, there were two Christmas-themed? Okay.
Well, one Christmas and one New Year's. Two holiday-themed movies.
What was the other holiday theme? Well, we'll get to that as to which holiday happened in which movie. Yes.
Yeah. So there were 5 movies released on March 11th, 1994. A couple of them very limited releases, which would, see larger releases a few weeks down the road, but this is where they got their start. So we're going to be, talking about them here. So it might seem like, oh man, they bombed at the box office, but they didn't. They were just getting started,
Yes. Yeah.
So the first of those, coming in at number 22 at the box office with $0.2 million, was The Hudsucker Proxy, directed by Joel Cohen, produced by Ethan Cohen, written by Joel Cohen, Ethan Cohen, and Sam Raimi, starring Tim Robbins and Jennifer Jason Leigh, Paul Newman, Bruce Campbell, John Mahoney.
Yes, that's right. He was in that.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a cast of thousands.
The usual Cohen cast, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this was the New Year's movie.
Oh, that's right. No, you're right. Okay, yeah, duh. I just don't think of it as a New Year's movie, but you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I think that's unfair.
Yeah, it's shockingly low.
Yeah.
I watched this because I've seen it before a bunch of times. I would say that it's probably number 3 Coen brother movie for me.
That's fair.
100% positive, but I mean, number 1 is The Big Lebowski by far. Number 2, I think, is probably True Grit, even though I haven't seen it since the theater. I need to check that out again. And I think this might be number 3.
I haven't seen their adaptation of True Grit. I haven't seen everything the Coens have done, but I do know that Oh Brother, Where Art Thou has to be in the conversation. But I know that Hudsucker Proxy was the first Coen movie that I saw.
Oh, yeah?
That's the first one I ever encountered, yeah. And I didn't encounter it till it was on home release. But when I saw it on home release, I've watched it pretty regularly since. Like every so often, I'll just watch Hudsucker Proxy. I just thought that the turn at the end and the big mythic shape that it takes later in the movie is so much fun. And I think it's got such a sense of whimsy, and Paul Newman is just... I think the movie probably caught me, and I fell in love with it at the moment where Paul Newman's hanging out the window, and he's reminiscing about single stitching, and then you see that he treats me so well, I'll just double stitch, and then he just lights the cigar. That's the type of thing that I love, and I think that I immediately plugged into the Coens at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I went back and I watched this after, I had discovered Big Lebowski in particular. I think I went on a Coen binge, and, this came up, and this was the one that really kind of stuck with me. I mean, there's a lot of their movies, especially a lot of their classics, which I don't particularly like. I mean, I guess I've only seen Fargo once, and it was in 1996 or 1997, but I didn't like it.
Really?
I know I need to revisit it. But this one always really worked well for me. And watching it this time, I was just struck, especially looking at all the other movies that we've been watching. I was really struck by sort of the formal precision that it has. I mean, like everything about it, the production design, the dialogue, the performances, everything. It's like super stylized and yet, razor sharp. And I think it's clearly the best movie of the year so far. I don't think anything else comes anywhere close to it.
I agree.
And I mean, just Tim Robbins, always great. Jennifer Jason Leigh, I think her performance in this is outstanding, and
Yes.
I think it's really funny and everything. It's really great. One of the Coen brothers' best.
Fun side note is in the 90s, I was working tech at a regional theater in my hometown, a fairly sizable regional theater, actually, and we were doing a play called The Sweet Revenge of Miss Louisa May. And there was a guy who was an older gentleman who had a part, and he was in the boardroom in Hudsucker Proxy.
Oh, yeah?
And he enjoyed telling everybody about meeting Paul Newman and being on the set with him and stuff like that. So his great claim to fame was he's one of the guys sitting around the table. Can I pick him out of the crowd? At this point, it's been so long, so no. But I know that he was there, and I remember him talking about it and talking about how nice a guy Paul Newman was.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I also have a connection to someone in the Hudsucker Proxy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I used to live across the street from John Mahoney.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, he lived in Oak Park, like later on, and I mean, this is only a few years ago, really. He lived in Oak Park, and I lived in Oak Park, and I had always heard, like, you'd see him just walking around town all the time, which was weird, because I mean that was like his thing. He just loved going for walks, and he was like speed walking all over the place, and I'm like, you look so good, I mean, last I saw you, you had that cane, and but no, I mean, he's, you'd always see him around town. He was always, super nice, always saying hi to everybody and everything like that, just kind of just out there, just like, hey,
Oh, that's awesome.
And I had heard like, oh, he lives in some apartment building, and I'm like, okay. And they they wouldn't say where it was because they didn't want people harassing him. But, one day I was walking down the street and he comes walking out of that apartment building, and I'm like, that's right across the street from me. Oh, that's interesting. Cool.
That is super cool. I think that's super cool. And I like the fact, like, you always like hearing about people who have any modicum of fame still being the type that like to walk around the neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
like he's not shielding himself. He's not hiding. He doesn't think he's super important. He's just out there like a person.
Yeah.
You like hearing that.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's awesome.
So, all right. So that was the Hudsucker Proxy. Number 21 this week was another movie which was just getting started. It made $2.2 million, and it's called Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Yes.
It has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it is the first movie we've seen this year which was nominated for Best Picture.
Yes.
It's directed by Mike Newell, who
Mhm.
did Donnie Brasco, one of those Harry Potter things, that Prince of Persia movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, geez. That's right. That one didn't go over well.
No. He's made a lot of movies. All over the place in terms of everything, in terms of scale, in terms of subject matter, in terms of quality. And then this movie was written by Richard Curtis, who got nominated for the script, who, of course, also wrote things like Love Actually and, The Boat That Rocked, or whatever they call it, Pirate Radio, depending on which country you live in, things like that.
I was a big fan. Still am a big fan of Love Actually. I think that's a terrific film.
It's decent. It's decent.
I think it's terrific.
Yeah.
Hit me in the old feels right from the first viewing onward.
Well, you can definitely see a sense of that in this movie.
Yeah.
I think. Now, Have you seen it?
Oh, I have. I saw it in the theater ages ago because it got so much buzz. I didn't see it in its limited release. I lived in a little backwater, so I didn't see it till its wider release. But yeah, I sure saw it, and I saw it a couple of times after that as well. The fact that this has a higher score on Rotten Tomatoes, quote unquote score on on Rotten Tomatoes, is for my money, Hudsucker Proxy was a better film. But hey.
Yeah, I had never seen this. This was the only Oscar nominee, Best Picture nominee from '94, which I hadn't seen. And I watched it last night, and I was not impressed.
Yeah. I remember the first showing, walking out of it, and I had friends who were saying, "Oh, that was so funny. Oh, that was so great. I really liked that." And I was the one walking out saying, that wasn't. I wasn't nuts about it.
Yeah.
I was the one that was just like staying quiet at the back of the group. So,
yeah. I remember Max telling me at one point that he went to see Pan's Labyrinth with like his girlfriend and then like his friend and his friend's girlfriend. And they came out of the theater and, they were all talking about it and talking about how great it was and stuff like that. And then, I talked to his friend, our mutual friend, and he's like, "Oh, I saw Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah, I saw it with Max. We all loved it. I loved it. Max loved it. Everybody loved it." And then like a day later, I saw Max, and I'm like, "So I heard you loved Pan's Labyrinth," and he's like, "No, I hated that movie." And I'm like, "Well, but Daniel said you loved it," and he's like, "It's amazing what people assume when you don't say anything."
That's so true. Max is speaking the God's honest truth right there. That is for sure. Just keep your mouth quiet and just let people fill it in the blanks. Yep.
Anyway, I did not like this movie. I mean, I didn't think it was like epically terrible or anything like that. I just thought it was kind of weak. And maybe I was viewing it through the lens of like, this is nominated with the likes of Pulp Fiction and Shawshank Redemption and, all the rest of it, and thinking about all the movies from '94 which didn't get nominated. And it's like, so this movie that came out on March 11th, it was this little romantic comedy which basically has like nothing of any importance like behind it, that's nominated for Best Picture? How?
This is the one when people talk about the Oscar nominations for Best Picture for 1994, where they go, "Oh yeah, with Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption, and Forrest Gump, and there was what was the other one?
Yeah.
What was it's always in the 5 slot where nobody can remember what else was nominated, and this is the one where people just draw a blank every time because it's that unmemorable. I honestly don't know what fever captured everybody to vault this up into that spot.
Yeah. So I guess we're both in the 5%, but whatever. That's cool.
Hey.
Okay with that. Yeah. All right. Next up, number 4. See, now we're jumping way ahead. Those were just limited releases and, everything. And 4 Weddings and a Funeral probably made more money than all these other movies combined, but whatever, it didn't come out till like April 15th or something like that wide. So, number 4. With $4.1 million, was a Christmas movie, The Ref.
Yes, The Ref, which I saw in the theater and rewatched this week.
All right. It's got a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody has been talking for so long about how good this movie was, and I really liked the people involved with it and everything like that. And I love the fact that it was a Christmas movie where the poster is, Dennis Leary holding a gun. And I'm like, this is going to be the movie for me. And I always like watching Christmas movies over the course of December. So I thought, like, I'm going to expand my horizons. I'm going to try a Christmas movie, which is not a tradition for me, but is one which I feel like could be a new tradition. I'm going to watch The Ref, and I watched The Ref.
And what was your reaction?
I was disappointed with it. Very disappointed. I didn't think it was very good. So, but I know that, I mean, one of the people who kept on talking about how great it was you.
I reviewed it for the first time in quite a while for this, and I can say that my opinion has precipitously fallen to sort of a line up with yours. It's one where I continually want to give it breaks because the thing that got me in the theater was I was a huge fan of Dennis Leary. Dennis Leary had released the album No Cure for Cancer, and that thing was in heavy rotation. I could still do bits from that CD off the top of my head. I won't, but I could. And that's what got me in the movie theater was Dennis Leary as a main character. Yeah, sure. And he does his reliable shtick at certain points where he's, proselytizing. Oh, you don't know how good you got it. And I dig that stuff. I still find it funny. I love the fact that Al Neary is in the movie. So, there's a tie to The Godfather that I love. But no, it doesn't hold up. It decidedly did not hold up. And I probably was still more generous in my assessment of it now just because I like, Dennis Leary's bit so much. But there were parts where I legitimately tuned out and then caught I started daydreaming and I came back and I went, oh, I should probably, I don't need to rewind that. Oh, although another fun tidbit is the Colonel from Boogie Nights is in it. So
Robert Ridgely.
Yeah.
I don't remember him in this movie exactly, but I'm sure I was happy about that one.
He's the guy that gets the police chief fired, and then the police chief says that he slept with his wife.
I remember that part.
Yeah,
but
it's supposed to be a big laugh line, and instead it really, I don't know if I've just changed so much as a person where, that line arrives and I just say to myself, oh, that's cruel. That's not even funny. Why would you do that in your movie? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm glad to hear that, your opinion has changed because I remember when I posted a thing saying 2 stars on, Letterboxd or whatever, I think you were like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's not me. Well, that's good to know.
No, it's not you.
All right.
It's not you. I was very much caught in the heady embrace of Dennis Leary fandom. But I've been disabused of that emotion. So,
all right. Well, the number 2 movie this week, I'm assuming number 3 was Ace Ventura. Had to be, right? Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, number 2 movie this week with 6.9 million was Lightning Jack.
Oh, that's right. The Paul Hogan movie.
Yes. Yeah, where he's not Crocodile Dundee, but he's doing something else, and it's from the creators of Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
It's got a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, so...
I was going to take one for the team on this one, and then I watched the trailer, and I said, I don't want to take the one for the team this time.
Yeah, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in it.
That's okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, and number 1, with $9.3 million at the box office and a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, is Guarding Tess.
Yeah, didn't see that one. What
Nicolas
about you?
Cage in his first performance since what's
Deadfall.
Deadfall, yeah.
Deadfall.
And Shirley MacLaine, where he's a Secret Service agent who's guarding a former First Lady, right?
Yes.
Who's a bit of a handful.
Yeah.
It looked I watched the trailer. The trailer looked interesting. I would have watched it in a lesser week, but Hudsucker, Proxy, and 4 Weddings and a Funeral definitely took priority here.
Yeah, and I just had to discover my views on the ref. I remember the ad campaign for this one, and I remember the big push for it.
Yeah.
And Shirley MacLaine was still something of a name.
Oh yeah.
So it's no surprise to me why it hit number 1.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that's really, I think, noticeable specifically about this week as we're going through 1994 is how dominant comedies are this week.
Yeah.
You know, everything's a quirky comedy. And it's strange. Like, it's such a shift that, like, there's like a real shift where we've gone from dump it off January to muddling through February to starting March with a bunch of comedies.
Maybe spring break. I don't know. Could that be it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I
Still
still
not a lot of kids movies though, you know?
No.
Yeah.
No, but we had the assault of the kid movies through January and February.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it starts up again next week.
Yeah.
With like Monkey Trouble or something. But like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, it'll be interesting to see because, you know, are we going to see this sort of continual, I don't know, tonal shift in terms of the releases where everything starts to group together in terms of splitting the audience share?
That could be. It could be, you know? Who knows? Yeah. Be interesting to see.
Yeah, it will. I mean, the thing is, it's like I'm still disappointed that the ref doesn't hold up. I hate it. I hate going back and rewatching old movies that I used to love and then realizing, because seriously, it's always that existential sort of question of, have I changed? Like, I mean, obviously I'm a different person than I was 25 years ago. God help me if I wasn't. But like, how fundamental a lesson that is in like what plays for humor for you.
Yeah.
You know, like it's probably really good that a couple of weeks ago I didn't go back and rewatch Ace Ventura because I probably would have hated it.
Yeah.
I'd rather preserve in amber that gentle memory of finding it funny instead of shattering that illusion and finding out how much I've changed in that time. You know, I'd rather let's just preserve the happiness.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, looking ahead to next week, we've got another 6 movies for us to choose from on March 18th, 1994. And those movies include Oh, Woe Is Me, Suture, Bitter Moon, The Paper,
Yes,
Monkey Trouble, and Naked Gun 33 and a Third, The Final Insult.
Yes.
So, yes, tomorrow, hopefully, I will post a link to our trailer lineup where you can watch all of the trailers for next week's movies. It's out there on the internet if you find it. I mean, you can find it. Just type in Retro Perspective in YouTube, and it should come up. All of the trailer for all of the weeks should come up. So,
yes.
Yeah. Check that out for sure. And yeah, then we're going to be talking about them next week.
And we'll be able to find out if another comedy holds up over time that was once beloved by me. Naked Gun 33 and a Third.
Interesting.
Which
there's a couple on here which I'm rather intrigued by, which I want to check out. I'm going back and forth between which one. I'll try to watch both, but we'll see. It's hard. It's hard watching more than one because, I mean, you're keeping up with all of the 2019 stuff, and then you've got all the 1994 stuff, and then there's all the just regular old movie watching, you know? It's hard to carve out the time.
It is a challenge. It is a challenge, and especially when there's still the does Amazon carry it or iTunes carry it challenge that's going on. So, because one has a great compression rate for downloading things to your iPad, and the other one does not.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't understand why iTunes can't figure that one out, man.
But streaming it over the Apple TV, I think iTunes has Amazon beat.
Yes, it does. But some of us like to, watch the movie with our headphones, like on the iPad, where there isn't strong signal. You know, like you can watch a movie while you're on the treadmill.
Yeah.
But, they're not really set up for streaming at the gym.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we'll find out next week about those movies.
Yes.
But
we will.
until then, John, where can people find you on the internet?
Just look for Castle Junkie. That's me. And you can find me here on the network, co-hosting Aggressive Negotiations, a Star Wars podcast with Matthew Rushing, where we are right now. We're about to release our Rebels, or we've already released our Rebels Remembered, revisiting that show. And as this airs tomorrow, you'll be able to hear us debating why Matt loves Rogue One so much and why I'm so lukewarm on it. So where can people find you online?
Well, you can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Mumbles3K, and you can also find me on Trek.fm doing Tracks from the Edge, where we provide audio commentary for new episodes of Star Trek. And you can also find me on filmdamagepod.com, where we take a look at movies from the perspective of the booth. And
awesome.
Yeah, until next week, be kind, rewind.